If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll just fall into somebody else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. That's Jim Rohn. And that's why it's so important, guys, to write down your goals. I get so excited at the new year because I get to sit down with my wife and plan out our goals for our years, whether they're fitness goals, financial goals, family goals. I just love to dream of the future, and I love to write it down and see where we're going to go. What are we going to conquer this year? What are we going to go after? Because if I don't write it down and plan what it is I want, I'm not going to hit it. And then another year is going to go by and I'm just going to what did I do with my life? Because life doesn't wait for anyone. Life is not chances, it's choices. And it's making a choice to set a goal for your life, to set multiple goals, to say, hey, I want to achieve this financially. I want to achieve this business-wise. I want to read, 50 books by the end of the year. I want to read 20 books, whatever it is. But the fact that you set a goal to read and you wrote it down, by the end of the year, you can go back and say, hey, look what we did. We wrote it down and it actually happened. I get blown away every year when I look at my goals because I keep them on my phone. I have a goals list every year, and this year it says goals 2016, and so I go through it and I always say, okay, what am I working towards? And it helps give me a big picture of my year and just say, hey, am I walking towards the goal or am I walking off it? And it keeps me focused. It keeps me aligned. It gives me my marching orders for the day and for the year, for the month. Because if you haven't written it down and you can't see it, you forget about it. And then life happens. And we all know we get distracted very easily. A certain opportunity comes up. But if I get a certain opportunity, it might not line up with what I want for my goals. Sure, sometimes there could be a rare opportunity. It's like, okay, you got to take it. But a lot of times, some of these opportunities are disguised as distractions. And that's why we need to set goals and write them down so we can see them, so we can say, hey, that doesn't line up with my goals. Maybe I'll table that for another time. So I want to challenge you right now to write down your goals. Maybe you write them down in your phone. Maybe you write them down on a big piece of paper. I suggest you even do both. I love having just a big piece of paper on my whiteboard or whatever. I take a big sheet of paper and I write down my goals for the year so I can see it. I can look at it. I can step back, maybe have my coffee or tea in my hand, and I just say, okay, that's what I'm going after. Okay, maybe I don't want to go after that. Cross that one out. And what's really cool too is when you write them down, you can check them off as you get them done. And it's amazing when you write them down and you can see them, the more you have checked off. And there's just something about us as humans. We love checklists and love to see that we're moving towards something. And I know that's the same with you. You want to move towards something. You want change. You want more. Well, why not write your goals down so you can see it and you can plan your life? Because like I said earlier, if you don't plan your life, you're going to fall into somebody else's plan for your life. And guess what they got planned for you? Not much. Let's take action today. It's not about how you start, but how you finish. And when it comes to goal setting, we need to not only write them down, but we also have to learn to prioritize them. What do I mean by that? Putting the number one priority goal first, and then writing the second one down first. And we're putting them in order of which one is the most important to you. Which one is really going to move the needle, make the most money, is going to make the most impact, and really move your business forward or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Sometimes that takes some time. We just think and we look at it and we organize it and just put them into order. You might move it around later, but just do the best you can. Take the first 5 or 6 or however many you've written down and just put them in order of which ones you want to accomplish and you're going to attack first. Sometimes it can seem like a huge mountain that we have to climb or this big thing that we have to accomplish. But you know what? It's all about just chipping away. It's about chipping away. It's not about getting it done all overnight and stressing yourself out and you suffering from burnout. No, it's about putting them in priority and then working at them. You pick up one goal and you say, hey, this is the one I'm going to work on today. Or maybe this is the goal I'm going to work on this week, or this month, or maybe even this quarter, depending if they're short-term goals or long-term goals or life goals. You just pick the one up and you focus on that and steadily chip away at it. You know, I love the story of the tortoise and the hare, because every time I read that story or I hear that story, the tortoise wins because he's just slow and steady. He's just going at it. And I've heard this story from billionaires and millionaires that just say, hey, that's what business is all about. That's what life is all about. It's not a race. It's a marathon. and you're just going at it. It's not a sprint to burn yourself out and tire yourself out. Enjoy the process. I love writing goals down. I love like seeing what I'm going to do today and what I'm going to attack today. And then I check that sucker off, and that's just the one I work. But if I don't take the time to prioritize it, I'll sit down and I'll be like, oh, what do I do today? I don't know what is most important because I haven't set what's most important. I haven't told myself what's most important. And again, when it comes to success, the battle is in the mind, and getting focused and getting clear-minded and just knowing what it is you're supposed to do. Knowing and convincing yourself that this is the number one thing I'm supposed to do today, that gets rid of doubt, fear, anxiety, because when you make a decision, a solid decision to say, this is what is most important, and this is why, and that's why I'm focused, because all of a sudden the other thoughts of, oh, I need to be working on that, or I need to be working on that goal, it's like, no, I'm working on this right now, because that's the most important one. So I want to encourage you right now, take some time, you've written your goals down, now prioritize them and put them in an organizational sequence so you can just start chopping at them and working at them and working at them. I believe in you guys. Thanks so much for taking this course. Let's keep going.